You write autosomes and sex chromosomes. Anybody know what the bottom picture is?
Soccer player?
It is a soccer player, but specifically, do you know what it's from?
The World Cup.
One would think, but it's actually from the Bodies exhibit. Anybody heard of the Bodies exhibit? Yes, no? Are we still asleep this morning? Yes, no? The Bodies exhibit is this really neat exhibit where people and animals have been donated to science, and they preserve them. So you can see the muscles, you can see the veins, you can see the arteries. There's a whole ton of them. Right now they're in Atlanta, Georgia.
So that's a real person?
That is a real person that was donated, and it's been plasticized. So all of the liquid has been pulled out of that person, and plastic has been injected into the person to maintain. It is really weird. What I want you to do right now, I'm going to give you a second. Go to Google, because this is a pretty cool thing to do. Go to Google, and I want you to specifically look for the Bodies exhibit and look at the Google images. You can see all of the stuff that's there. I do try to break up notes for you guys, by the way, so it's not so monotonous. Look at the Google images. You can see they do have humans and bodies. They have one of a pregnant mother with the baby still inside. They've got a person split in half. They've got a fair amount of stuff. The Bodies exhibit.
Does it smell bad or anything?
Nope, because it's plastic. It smells just like plastic. There's also, like I said, there's animals. They've preserved. The reason why I showed you the Bodies exhibit is because the other type of chromosome we have is an autosome, which is all of the other chromosomes in your body. That's why I put the picture of the body, because that's what it reminds me of. So I figure autosomes is your body chromosomes, and then you've got the egg and the sperm for your sex chromosomes. This is the next slide. It says DNA, titled DNA, if you notice. What does it stand for? Part A? What does DNA stand for? It is actually up there, but does anybody know off the top of their head? Anybody know what DNA stands for? It is right there. You can look at the back of the sheet. Back of my classroom, it's there too. Right there it stands for, what does it stand for? Somebody tell me. Perfect. Deoxyribonucleic acid, that's what it stands for. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. What is, the next thing says, location. Where do you find DNA? Where do you find DNA? It's found in the nucleus. Where do you find a nucleus? Where do you find, Odalis, where do you find a nucleus? In the cells. You find a nucleus in the cell. Every single cell in your body has a nucleus. It has the DNA sitting right in there. So that would be part B that you're writing down. Anybody want to guess what you put for part C? I'm asking you the shape. What is the shape of DNA? It is kind of like a chain. It's called something specific. It is a helix, but it's a certain kind of helix. What kind of helix is it? Anybody heard of it? Helix? Helix, helix, helix? Anybody know? Do you know? It's a double helix. DNA is a double helix. So the shape of DNA is a double helix. That's for part C. You guys starting to understand how to fill in the... You guys starting to understand how to fill in the template? I put it right there in front of you so you can see it, and it's just your job to fill it in. Part D says relation to chromosome. And I tell you right on that slide. What do I tell you? The relation to the chromosome. How is DNA related to the chromosome? The chromosome holds the DNA. Oops, sorry, I hit something. Sugar. Sugar, sugar, sugar. can't get this thing to back up really easy. There you go, sorry. Yesterday we were talking about all 4 of those vocabulary words. The DNA is held by the chromosome. That's the relationship. That was part, what did I say that was? Part D. Part D in your template says the relation of the chromosome. The chromosome holds the DNA. That's its job. Chromosome is a DNA holder. So for part D, you should put chromosome as the DNA holder. Is this okay for them?
Yeah. He's doing both, so this says DNA holder.
Oh. You think I should modify anything with the outlines? Do you think outlines work?
No, I think the outlines work. I tend to think that because some may see it as that paragraph form, they think they might be missing something that's not a. You're actually showing them how to do an outline based on the text you have.
Right.
Pull the information. That's
Right.
actually what it is.
Right.
I'm not quite sure they all understand that. They think they might miss something. And
Gotcha.
so copying down the whole notes.
Gotcha, gotcha,
You know?
gotcha.
And not all. I think some, some clearly.
Right. All right. So here's that shape, double helix. DNA's double helix. That was the shape of the DNA, double helix. A helix is a spiral. It's a spiral shape. It's kind of like what Evan said, it's that chain. The reason why it's called double, if you're double, how many do you have? 2. Here's one strand. Here's the other strand. So DNA is a double helix.
Do you like Harry Potter?
I do like Harry Potter. DNA is split up into all your chromosomes. I already said that. You don't have to copy that down. We already wrote that. DNA is split up into all your chromosomes. I'm just kind of showing you and reinforcing this. You don't have to copy this. I'm reinforcing it. See the X-shaped thing? Yes? No? That's the chromosome. If you look, the red parts that are in it, that's the DNA. Chromosome's merely the holder for the DNA. This is the next slide, though. Genes. Technically, what are genes? They're units of heredity. What a gene actually is an instruction for a protein. That's what it does. One gene tells your body to do one thing. One gene tells your body to do one thing. It is an instruction. Like a direction in a recipe manual, that's what a gene is doing. It's telling you how to do something. It's one instruction. It makes a protein specifically. It's an instruction to make a protein because that's what your body's controlled by. DNA and genes. This is all going to be slide 4. This is part A. Part A of slide 4. The relation to DNA and genes. A gene is just a part of DNA. Your DNA is holding your genes. However you want to look at it. A gene is a small part of DNA. If you look up there, that is the strand of DNA. A gene is a section of it. A gene is technically the instruction to make something. The DNA is just holding the instructions. It's like the recipe book. The gene is the instruction. The DNA is the book holding the instructions. A gene is one gene tells your body to do one thing. One gene tells your body to do one thing. This is still slide 4.
So
So that would be B. Part B. Genes' function is for it to tell your body to do one thing. That's the job of a gene. It's one instruction to tell your body to do one thing. It makes a protein. Can things go wrong with your genes? Can you screw up your instructions?
Yes.
Absolutely. When genes are right, you have no deformities. It is actually amazing that you came out as beautiful as you guys have. Genes is gonna dictate your hair color, your eye color. Does environment play a factor into genes? Can environment change your genes? Absolutely. If you go out in the sun, what typically happens with your skin? You burn or you get darker depending on your skin tone. If you're going to be smoking a lot, you're suddenly now not going to be able to produce enough of the healthy cells in your lungs and you can develop cancer. I need you to Google this for me. So, open up Google Images and I want you to type muscle dog. Because one of the genes that can go wrong, it went wrong in this dog and it goes wrong in humans, is a gene for myostatin. Myostatin normally tells your muscles to stop growing so large. There is actually a German baby that was born and the muscles got huge, and so does this dog. This dog is a female. It's a greyhound muscle dog. I want you to Google muscle dog and you can see. Word. The last vocabulary word is genome. This is all of your genes put together. Your genome is every single instruction you have in your body all put together. It's kind of a collective thing. If you want to look at it, this is genome. This is slide number 5. It's all of your genes put together, and point 2 is it refers to all the DNA and all of your chromosomes. It is everything put together.
What was the last two ones for the slide?
The last 2 ones, positive for genes. If you're looking at the outline, the positive, when it goes right, everything works beautifully. You've got a very healthy individual. If, on the other hand, you have a malfunctioning gene, I just showed you an example of a malfunctioning gene. That was the myostatin. That's where the muscles got too big. That's because the gene is malfunctioning. Some of them actually, some of the bodybuilders, the animals, yes. He overly works out, and some of them actually inject fluid into their muscles. Yeah. Sure.